there, my name is Mike Munzing with Munzing Mortgage Group. So appreciate you joining me today. Each week I put these videos together to give you an update of what's going on in the mortgage industry, real estate industry, the country as a whole, and kind of give you some insights on a number of areas. First thing, as I always do, I want to jump real quick into what's going on with the rates this week. The end of the week has been a little bit rough. They're holding their ground from last week at these insanely low rates, but the bond market is starting to get a little dicey. We do know that they are starting to look at doing some different things with the Treasury there in Wall Street and DC. So we got to watch out. But right now, go to my website, www.mikemunzing.com. You can print this up. It's right there. Take it to your open houses. Talk to your folks coming in about it. Let them know I'm here for them. But the rates are good, gives you good information. Lots of other tools on that site that you can take with you to those open houses, get those conversations going, and get those folks out and sell them some properties. As we've made it to the middle of October, the numbers came out this week for last month for the September foreclosure numbers. So attached to the email that I'm sending you or on my website, print the report out. This is from Foreclosure Radar. They are the best foreclosure source of information out there. And it breaks down, because lots of charts, graphs, reports on what is happening here in Orange County, but in California as well. Print that up. And let's see what Sean O'Toole is talking about. The numbers have eased off just a little bit. What's happening is that the third-party buyers, generally we call them flippers or the investors that go down to the steps of the courthouse, are having a significantly harder time. You've heard on the news about all the stuff going on with foreclosures, but the buyers are having a harder time getting really clear title, making it through all those title searches, getting the properties cleaned up, fixed up, back on the market. What's it say here? Previously, it was taking 95 days to flip those around and get them back on the market. It's up to 137 days. These guys are very fine-tuned on their investing and how they're making their money on these. This is making it a little bit tougher, so the numbers dropped, I believe, about 15% on the investors. Let's go over all the numbers here. I print all these charts out for you and bring them up here. First one we want to talk about is the notice of defaults. That's when the folks are a little bit late on their mortgage, 30, 60, well actually more like 60 to 90 days late. The banks file the first stage, the notice of defaults, and that pretty much leveled from last month, up 1.9%. But who knows what next month's going to hold, as you've been hearing all about these foreclosure moratoriums. This report may be really short next month because there may not be any foreclosures, but let's take a look. So we got that trending downward. Next, we have the notice of trustee sales. Now that, as you can see, has been kind of jumping up and down across the screen there, but we've got a drop of 17.19% to a level of 26,039 properties in California having the notice of trustee sale, which is that second stage where the lenders pick a date, say this is the date your home is going to be sold in foreclosure, and gets it on that list to be scheduled for sale. Next, we have the actual, once the properties have gone to the foreclosure sale, a number of things happen. First of which, some of those properties, a large portion of those properties, get sold back to the lender that brought the foreclosure up. So that would be back to the original bank, REO properties. And that is edged up just about 5% to a level of 15,105. We can see there, we see about 3 months heading upward a little bit. Those properties getting back to the bank, which is, we're hoping at some point, bringing more properties for our buyers to buy if we can get those properties off the fence and out of the woodworks there. Next would be the properties sold to that third party we talked about a moment ago. And that's where it dropped 15.59% down to a level of 2,934 here in California. We talked about the reasons why. So here's the chart. You can see it had a big edge up, but we are dropping back down a little over there. Next is that third area, the properties that have been canceled. Either have somebody buying, goes back to the bank, or that sale date gets canceled, and that really spiked, but now for the last 3 months has been dropping off as well. That has to do a lot with those, what they call the modifications that ended up not hanging in there, or the modifications that actually did well and they end up canceling the date because they held together. Next is a couple of areas of this is the pre-foreclosures. This is the inventory of properties that have been filed, but they're in that pre-foreclosure stage prior to the date being set. And that's been holding fairly level overall, about 137,000. That's down about 11% for this month though, but as you can see, it's kind of holding fairly level across the chart there. And next is a gradual decline of the properties that are currently scheduled for sale. They filed the notice of trustee sale, they're just waiting on the date. Those get delayed. That's up to about 117,000. It's down about 5.4%, but you can see those peaked in November of 09 and then it's trended down just slightly. And the next number would be finally the properties that are currently owned in the REO. The REO inventory for California is about 113,000 properties, and that is up about 5.26%. Those banks are not bringing them quite back on the market as quick as they have, but hopefully these charts give you an idea kind of what's going on. What we really need to do is see what's going to happen next month. B of A, all the other investors are talking about moratoriums, holding off. I'm going to bring more information on that to you fairly soon because that is a serious, serious situation. And those robo-signers, and you've got the MERS situation, all kinds of areas where those banks were inundated and hammered by the number of foreclosures. They tried to find quick ways around it. And this needs to be handled. These properties need to be turned over. And we need to get more buyers into the system. Okay, we're heading into the weekend. We are 17 days away from that election. The countdown continues. I've had a lot of you at the meetings ask me, Mike, now that you're kind of elected, more plugged in and real dialed in with what's going on, what do we do with the ballot here? So what I've done is I've talked to a lot of the folks I trust, gone through that ballot in detail. I will be posting it on the email that I send out, and I'll also have it on my MikeMunzing.com website, is I've gone through and at least let you know what I'm doing. Just, with the propositions, I've studied them. I may also connect you with some other, in the coming week or so, some of the other recommendations of folks out there who go into real detail on these propositions. The most important one, Proposition 23, yes on 23, we've talked about it in previous videos. We have to stop this Global Warming Act. We have to stop AB 32. It is absolutely destroying business here in California. If we get that thing stopped, it'll spark some business, hopefully get us more buyers. But once again, go to the site. You can get my recommendations. I've got the check marks on there for you, so you can kind of see what I'm doing, give you an idea on that. And if you know anybody, once again, who wants to help on Election Day, we're looking for people to help out in the different cities to watch those polling booths. If you're available, love to have you help. All right, hey, if you have any buyers coming down the pipe this weekend, I will be working. I'm here for you. Give me a call, 949-689-5626. Look forward to working with you. I look forward to working with your buyers, putting my 21 years in lending to work for both of you. God bless you this weekend. God bless your families. Of course, God bless America. We've got this huge election coming up. Let's stay focused. Keep your nose to the grindstone. Let's make this work. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.